Hi, we're going to go ahead and go over how to complete the graphic organizer for Duffy's jacket. So I want you to go ahead and pull that up. It is located under today's folder, so the September 15th folder in our Schoology course. It is assignment number 005, Apply, Let's Work Together. And I want you to go ahead and click it and get a copy of the graphic organizer. You will be able to access the text Duffy's jacket through the directions on the graphic organizer. So let me go ahead and present my screen and then we will get started. It always just takes a moment. Okay, so when you click on that assignment, you should see this graphic organizer. And it looks like it's coming up right now. All right, there it is. So you should see that graphic organizer. Now to get the actual story, Duffy's jacket, you want to go ahead and click on Duffy's jacket. It's in blue in the directions. So go ahead and click on that now and get a copy of the story. I already have a paper copy of the story and it's in another one of my tabs. So let's take a look at the directions. It says read Duffy's Jacket by Bruce Coville and fill in the graphic organizer using details from the text. So the details that we're using are narrative elements, and we went over that in class. So we learned what makes a good narrative or story and what it should include. So it's just in graphic organizer form. So as you read through the story, you're going to be listing any characters that you come across. You'll also be listing the setting, any conflicts or problems that arise, some background information to the text or what's going on, and you'll be listing the events in chronological order as they occur. And you want to stick to the most important events that are moving the story to conclusion, okay? And then after you finish that, you will be recording the climax or the most intense part in the story. And then also the resolution. How does it end? How does the conflict get resolved? All right, so you should have your copy of Duffy's Jacket up, and I have my copy of Duffy's Jacket. And we're just going to take a look and work on some of the categories together. All right, so I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs, and as I read, I just want you to follow along. So it says, if my cousin Duffy had the brains of a turnip, it never would have happened. But as far as I'm concerned, Duffy makes a turnip look bright. My mother disagrees. According to her, Duffy is actually very bright. She claims the reason he's so scatterbrained is that he's too busy being brilliant inside his own head to remember everyday things. Maybe. But hanging around with Duffy means you spend a lot of time saying, your glasses, Duffy, or your coat, Duffy, or, well, you get the idea. A lot of three-word sentences that start with your, end with Duffy, and have words like book, radio, wallet, or whatever it is he's just put down and left behind, stuck in the middle. Me, I think turnips are brighter. But since Duffy's my cousin, and since my mother and her sister are both single parents, we tend to do a lot of things together like camping, which is how we got into the mess I want to tell you about. All right, so let's stop right there. And let's see what details we can go ahead and fill out on this chart so far. So our characters, we have our narrator, or the person telling the story. And we don't know who that is just yet, okay? So we're gonna have to read a little bit more to find out. Other characters that we've been introduced to is Duffy, and we've also been introduced to Mom. Now he's named his aunt, but we're not sure just yet how much a part of the story that she is, if she's an actual character in the story. So we're going to have to keep reading to find out. But at this moment, we have the narrator, we have Duffy, and we have Mom. Okay? And if there are any other characters that you come across in the story, you want to go ahead and list them in this section of the graphic organizer. So what else do we know? Well, we don't quite know the setting just yet. And we don't know the conflict that's taking place yet in this part of the narrative. So we want to keep scrolling down until we get to background. Now we do have some background on the story, okay? We know that the narrator is frustrated with Duffy because he's so forgetful. All right, so we know that so far. And we also know that the reason why he still has to be around Duffy anyway is because they're cousins. So the narrator is frustrated with Duffy because Duffy is so forgetful. Um, he um, he and Duffy are cousins, so they have to spend time together. Okay. He and Duffy are cousins. They have to spend time together, and they spend a lot of time together. Okay. So at this point, you want to go ahead and continue reading. So if we go on to the next paragraph, let's see what else we might be able to find out. Let's see what narrative elements we recognize and can give the details for. So it says, personally, I thought camping was a big mistake. But since Mom and Aunt Elise are raising three of us, me, Duffy, and my little sister Marie, on their own, they're convinced they have to do man stuff with us every once in a while. I think they read some book that said me and Duffy would come out weird if they don't. You can take him camping all you want. It ain't gonna make Duffy normal. Anyway, the fact that our mothers were getting wound up to do something fatherly, combined with the fact that Aunt Elsie's boss had a friend who said we can use his cabin, added up to the five of us bouncing along this horrible dirt road late one Friday in October. It was late because we had lost an hour going back to get Duffy's suitcase. I suppose it wasn't actually Duffy's fault. No one remembered to say, "Your suitcase, Duffy," and so he couldn't really have been expected to remember it. All right, so at this point, we do have some insight into the setting. So do you remember where the main part of the story is taking place or being set? All right, so if you said a cabin, you are absolutely correct. So you want to go ahead and put that. Also, we know what time of year it is. So the setting is a cabin. We know that it's October. And to get some more details regarding the setting, we're going to go ahead and read ahead. So at this point, I want you to go ahead and finish the story and see what details you can recall on your own. So see what narrative elements you recognize. So you should get some more information regarding the setting. You want to go ahead and put the conflict or the problem that arises in the story. If you learn any new details about the background, you want to put that on there. And you want to make sure you list the events in chronological or time order. So you only want the main events that take place in the story. Then tell me, what is the climax or the turning point, the part where the story gets most intense or dramatic, where you're just waiting to see what happens next, okay? And last, how does it end? What happens? How is the conflict resolved? So I want you to go ahead and finish the rest of this document, and then we're going to review it in class tomorrow on the 16th. All right. So if you have any questions, you can definitely send it over to me through our Schoology classroom, and I'd be happy to assist you. And also, we're going to take a look at it tomorrow. So I hope that you have a great night. All right. See you tomorrow.